How's it going, YouTube? I'm back. I wanted to talk about a certain subject today, but first, please do me a favor and like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers so I can start interviewing parents that have been through this crap, these crappy divorces, and you can hear their stories from themselves, because I'm sure there's plenty. Today, what I wanted to talk about was what I have called the period of chaos. And what I mean by that is the time from when one of the parents leaves the home until the first conference, which in our state, Colorado, it's called your initial status conference. That's the first conference you have in a divorce. Well, when you leave the home, if nobody files for divorce, nothing happens. So, great example. My case. I got into it with my ex-wife's son for the 5th time and had to call the police on him the 3rd time the day after Christmas 2020. December 26th, 2020 is when I moved. And I didn't even move. I just left because I didn't want to fight her son. So that was the day after Christmas. By January 15th, my ex-wife had thrown my clothes behind my business because I guess she thought I wasn't coming back, but she thought it was okay to damage my property, which was only half of my property. She threw it behind my clothes in the middle of the winter and changed the locks on the house during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, I was homeless and sleeping in my stores came out to about 2 months. In that time, I had to get hotel rooms and sleep in the store. When it was too cold to sleep in the store, I had to get a hotel room. So my ex-wife didn't file for divorce until August. So from January to August, nothing happened. It's on me and her to get along so I can see my son, which surprisingly happened. Everything was fine until she hired an attorney. And that's what I'm getting at. So in August, she asked me to come home, August 8th. And I gave her the Kevin Samuels. I told her, buy a dog and die alone, because I'm not coming back to a woman that's thrown me out twice over 2 sons. 2 days later, I get divorce papers. Boom. So now the divorce starts, August 10th. From August 10th, for 90 days, they have what's called the 90-day waiting period. And this is what I mean is the period of chaos. So what happens in that 90 days is nothing. There's no rules. Either parent can do whatever they want with the child. Either parent can do whatever they want with the property. And it's supposed to be figured out later in court. Well, what that settles up, what makes happen is a lot of litigation. See what I'm saying? Because now we're doing all this fighting because there's no rules. They can take the kid out of state. They can do all kind of stuff with the kid. You can too, because there's no rules. A lot of dads don't really know that. But when a divorce starts, for the first 90 days, there's no rules until you get into a courtroom. And that sets up a lot of litigation. And the reason why they have it that way, I believe, is because these laws are made by attorneys, by politicians, that used to be attorneys. Every politician pretty much used to be an attorney. So they do it so that it's profitable. So let's talk about the cost. Because of all the litigation that we do over arguing over things that should be automatic, Americans spend $28 billion a year on divorces. Just think what we could do with that money for our children. $28 billion a year going to college funds, going to trade schools, going to healthcare. Holy crap. $28 billion a year. That's what the period of chaos sets up. It sets up chaos. So my solution, after going through it twice, one of them I wasn't even married, the state said we were, I think there needs to be some automatic settings when it comes to divorce. So a parent files for divorce or a parent leaves the house, that parent should be able to go down to the courthouse and they should be able to get a parenting plan that is in stone, because what they tell you is you can't have a parenting plan until you go to the initial status conference. You can't even make a parenting plan until then. So I think there needs to be earlier intervention by the court for parenting plans, and that would cut down on most of the litigation. I guarantee you, out of 28 billion, 20 of it is arguing over kids that we shouldn't even be arguing over, because it should be 50-50. If both parents are willing, able, there's no reason why it shouldn't be 50-50 unless somebody has a vindictive reason. And that's what we're dealing with. All this is vindictive fighting. If the court came out and said, if both parents are ready and willing to take care of the children half the time, it should be automatic, we wouldn't be going through all this. But there's some people that don't want that. And I bet you a lot of them are women. Because in the end, when a man doesn't want them anymore, when we don't want your car, and we don't want your house, and we don't want nothing to do with you no more, the only thing you have to get back at us is our children. I don't want my ex-wife anymore. I don't even want to look at her. If I never saw her again, it would be too soon. And she knows that. And I've moved on with my life. So the only weapon she has to control me or bother me is my son. I'm the third man she's done this to. By the way, ladies, just a little anecdote. If you're getting 3 child support checks, you're a piece of shit. Anyway, that's my video of today. The period of chaos. We need to get rid of the period of chaos. There need to be some automatic settings, so when a parent leaves the house, they have some rights. Man or woman. It happens both ways, but it mostly happens to men. When a guy leaves the house, he should have some automatics that happen when it comes to his children. It just should be automatic. They're half mine. And what I'm finding is, I think a lot of women think because they had the children and they carried the children, that the children belong to them. Well, it doesn't work that way. Take that up with God, not me. Don't take that up with us. Take that up with God. We didn't make it that way. And the kids are half ours. That's just the way it is. Sorry, my neighbor's cutting up some wood or something, so I'm going to cut it off. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. Look into the period of chaos into your state. See how it's going to affect you if you get divorced, or has it affected you. Try to minimize the chaos during this period, and it will save you money down the road. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. This dude's cutting up all kind of stuff. Take care now. And let's not forget, YouTube, my ex-wife robbed my business at gunpoint with 3 assailants and 2 guns, and was still able to keep my son from me for 30 days afterward, because of a sorry attorney by the name of Linda Lee, black woman that helped her keep my black son from me. The system is not fair for men. Anyone that says it is being very disingenuous. If I had robbed her at gunpoint, I would have gotten a $50,000 to $100,000 bond, and I would be in prison as we speak. But because she's a woman, she was given a $7,500 bond. She was able to bond out of jail before I could get back from Las Vegas, because she robbed me while I was out of town with another woman. Wondered what that was about. And she was able to hold my son from me for a month before I could get into court. That's what I mean about this period of chaos. It was so chaotic, my ex-wife robbed me at gunpoint. Sorry, the video is in 2 pieces, but I had to wait for this guy to quit cutting wood to finish my last point. She robbed me at gunpoint and was still able to keep my kid from me. If I had robbed her at gunpoint and was able to bond out and had kept my kid from her, she could stand on the sidewalk and tell the police that I was a violent criminal and I was endangering her child, and they would have came in the house and hogtied me and gave her the child. because I'm an armed robber. I'm a felon, a violent felon. But because she's a woman, I had to go to court to get my son half the time from a violent felon. Only in America.